As a person who enjoys challenges, I really like when I can put challenges on myself, like having every status effect applied to me, having cards I can't sell, or dying from getting hit just once. So today, I've designed some curses. But first, I have a question. Why can becoming a furry be considered a curse, but becoming zombified is just a virus? What is a curse? Curses aren't well defined in media, because in some you can remove them with just a spell, in others they're completely unremovable. And since there's no consensus on what a curse is, I've decided that curses in my world are special effects that just cannot be removed unless you have insanely powerful magic. And it has to change a major part of the character, so it can't just be like a -7 to intelligence or a lower movement speed. Now that you know what a curse is, let's talk about the first one. You begin to walk in the woods, and as you do, you see less trees and more mushrooms. Giant mushrooms. You begin to feel mushrooms grow from your body, so you try to use magic to get rid of them. It seems quite easy. But as you do, the mushrooms seem to grow faster and faster. Eventually, you're completely enveloped by mushrooms, covered head to toe, nothing left showing to the light. You can barely even see the sun. You have now become one with this mushroom forest. That's what happens for people who are affected by this curse. Because the curse grows when you use magic, using even a single spell could kill most magic users. I say most because the mushroom curse was originally created for a character who could withstand it. I plan to talk about her and more of my characters in that same world in a future video. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the mushroom forest. It was originally a small scene I thought would be a cool way to give someone a curse, but when I made it, it ended up being this crazy looking place that I really liked. So I decided to use it in more stories. I thought, well, if it looked cool there, it would look cool in different places, or it would look cool with other characters. Just goes to show how thinking of one small idea can lead to writing a bunch of different stories. But now, let's talk about the next curse. The origin of this curse is otherworldly. It was given to a group of cultists by the demon they worshipped. The demon told them that if they could inflict 100 people with this curse in this small underground town, he would reward them by entering their world. Soon after the cultists received the crystal, they realized that anybody who was infected by it couldn't use magic anymore. So they went around the caves putting this curse on whoever they could find. All they would need to do was inflict 100 people. So they gathered these 100 people and presented them to the demon. The instant he saw them, he grabbed these infected people, pulling them into his dimension, and pulled himself into theirs. Now, a part of this underground is ruled by a demon and his cult, slowly draining the magic power from everyone in the caves. This curse quickly developed into a story. At first I thought it would be boring because it only took away the ability to use magic. Then I made it less about the curse and more about the villains inflicting this curse upon innocent people. It became much more interesting, so I think I made the right choice. Overall, this curse had a crazy amount of story behind it, for just being a curse that makes people unable to use magic. But I guess now it's time for the final curse. A fool wanders into an underground ocean, holding an empty cup looking for water. As they approach the water, they see the whole ocean become still. They look into the water, trying to see under it, but they're only met with the face. Not their own, but the face of a sea monster of some sort. Some kind of fish person. They stare into its eyes, and before they can even react, the fish person grabs them by their neck, pulls them underwater, and begins to drown this fool. Soon, the fool has lost their breath. They have now become a fish person, and entered the hive mind. Now, this curse was originally created as a joke because one of my friends just suggested, hey, what if there was a curse that turned people into fish people? And I was like, why not? So now we've got a whole story about fish people who drown idiots, I guess? I wanted the story to be like a zombie kind of story, but also to echo sirens, you know, those beautiful creatures that would lure in sailors. The whole underground ocean idea was originally an idea I had for drawing a bunch of backgrounds, because I was thinking, wouldn't it be really cool to have this underground area with a bunch of water? And I was thinking that it would be interesting to have fish in there. And so now there are a kind of fish, I guess, but, you know, they're not very fish tank sized. It depends on how large your fish tank is, I guess. Now that we're done with the curses, I think it'd be interesting if we tried to put them on some characters. And when I say put them on some characters, I mean all of them on one character. So this is going to be someone who has been drowned by the sirens, someone who has gone to the mushroom forest and come out alive, and someone who is not able to use magic in any way at all. Let's see who they are. Character design is my favorite. It is so good. That's why most of the time if you look at my art online, you will see that I don't draw the same character twice, because I think it's much more interesting to have a bunch of different weird characters rather than one really developed character. Also, I just like sitting and drawing something new and not really having to stick to a model of a character. I mean, there are some characters I have drawn multiple times, like Mycena and Ivy, but Ivy is because she has a comic and I can't really change the character every page of the comic, and Mycena is just because I think she is my best design that I've ever made. So I'm like, I've got to keep drawing it. It's so good. She's so scary. Just look at her. She's got like, I don't even know. She's haunted. She's 100% haunted. Anyways, let's talk about the actual design. So this design was a bit hard to do because, I mean, there are so many characteristic things about all of these curses. Like, obviously they have to be a fish person because of the fish people curse. They have to have mushrooms on them because they have the mushroom curse, and they have to have these giant spikes because of the spikes curse. So I didn't really know where to go with this one. And I guess I can show the failed attempt that I did, which was really bad. I tried to make the mushroom translucent, but it really just looked gummy and weird, and it didn't really look like a mushroom very much. Anyways, it looked bad. We don't talk about that one. But yeah, this design was quite something. I probably am going to do more videos like this about actually designing characters rather than designing curses or, environment things, just because I really love character design. I'm probably not going to do videos that have this many drawings in them, because, I did one drawing for all 3 curses, I did the drawing for all of the curses together, and then I did the failed drawing for all the curses together, and obviously I did that furry version of myself back there, so that's horrible. But if I do have a video that has more drawings like this, it probably will be a lot of character design, so it's going to be much longer than this one is. So, at least I'll get some, runtime out of that one. And I'm probably going to also stick to the schedule of once every 2 weeks. That just makes sense. Unless I do today I'm doing 1,000,000 billion drawings in one day. Because then I don't know. I can't do 1,000,000 billion in one day. Although I do think Inktober is going to be an interesting one. That's going to be fun. Anyways, that's the end of the video. That's all I've got for now. Bye-bye! Hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Bazinga! Oh lord, this is horrible. That is not what any YouTuber sounds like.